Welcome back. I am John P. Today we are going to be talking about 3 watch brands that, for the following reasons, are some of the best values that you can find in the watch market today. In other words, these watch brands, I believe in the year 2022, deliver the best value in luxury watches. Now, things are changing. As we know, the watch market has been changing. Demand for certain pieces like Rolex, Patek Philippe, and Audemars Piguet over the last handful of months has come down, but other brands actually have gone up. And so I don't think that these 3 brands that we're going to be talking about here today will be off of the radar of the increasing pool of watch collectors that seems to be adding new people at such a high rate. Watch collecting has become so popular, and these brands, I think, are going to become desirable in the future, which will probably make them less of a great value. So the first brand, and many of you out there know this is Zinn. These watches deliver so much value, particularly in the case construction. Now, Zinn Watches, their cases are produced by a company called SUG out of Germany, still keeping that German the German production capabilities, aesthetic, as well as the quality, let alone the designation of the brand, still keeping that in line with what they do offer at this point. But Zinn has their watch cases produced by this SUG company, and this company also has produced watch cases for A. Lange & and other watch brands, not only in steel, not only in tegimented steel, but also in precious metals like you would find from A. Lange & Now, Zinn actually has taken a more than a controlling interest, so there is a lot of cross-sharing in terms of the labor force, as well as some of the design and more managerial or business aspects of the companies. But what this does is it allows them to offer very high quality feeling watches at a much lower price point than their competitors, right? They are still using, for the most part, off-the-shelf movements, some more decorated than others, which is going to detract from some people looking for a lot of horological value focused on the movements. But setting aside the workhorse movements, let's keep in mind these are largely tool or professional watches, which really don't need the most sophisticated in-house movements. These are rugged, tough, durable watches. I say it on this channel all the time, but the cases you find in Zinn Watches today for $1,500 retail price point are really not being hit in a lot of Swiss brands with a much larger luxury name until like the $5,000 US price point. So I think Zinn, you can get into something like a 556 and truly get a watch case that is going to be much more in line with a watch from a Swiss brand that's more maybe more notable in the luxury kind of segment for 5K plus. What do you think, Zinn Watches? Leave that down below. Also, I do believe that Zinn is going to get on the radar of a lot more people looking for a watch they can wear every day and not just kind of sit in the back of the safe because they know the prices are going to climb up on that. Next, we have Jlc Jager, Jager, different pronunciations, same company, same brand. Now, Jlc is really known for affordable complications, relatively speaking, as well as the calibers. If you didn't know, Jlc has created over 1,200 calibers. Now, that really does keep the name or the stereotype, or what some collectors consider to be the watchmaker's watch brand, and it's because they have focused since the inception of Le Coultre before they merged with Jager. They have focused on coming up with technological innovations in the movements, and that is proven in the over 1,200 movements that they have produced. But additionally, they offer complications you would see from other brands at several times the price point at a fraction of the price point, right? Let's take into consideration the Jlc World Times, regardless of what version of the watch we're looking at, the Master Compressor World Time, the Master Control World Time, and some of the other World Times they offer, World Times from competing brands like Vacheron, for example, or some of the others out there that have come out with variations or versions of World Times over the years. These are several times the price points, and ironically enough, all of these higher end brands have used JLC calibers either today or at some point in the past. You can look at certain Vacheron watches, for example, and see basically the same dial configuration, layout, design, case construction, everything is the same. In Vacheron, it's like 4 times the price as the JLC watch. So when we're talking about best values, I still do believe, both as a watch dealer and collector, that JLC offers some of the best value, especially if you can go in their back catalog and get these things at deals. And right now, today, in the market 2022, you can get phenomenal deals on JLC watches. What do we think? Any Jaeger fans? Please leave that in the comments below. Now, last, we have a brand that I actually wore around the Christmas time. I picked up the IWC Portuguese or chronograph, actually, and I love the watch. I had the green dial and I put it on a red strap, so it was kind of a holiday Christmas theme, and I had a lot of fun with that watch. And in wearing that watch and becoming so intimate and spending the time with it on the wrist more so than at the dealer or content creator level, I truly did realize that IWC is offering some phenomenal quality for what you can buy the watches for in the secondhand market. Now, the watches generally are competitive in terms of price point with their competitors. Rephrased, the watches of similar quality out there from the other brands have about the same retail price point, but IWC watches really don't have a large or great demand for most of them out there in the market today. And so because of this, you can buy IWC watches at unbelievable prices today. Now, I would probably attribute this to the fact that IWC has just come out with so many variations of their watches, right? Think of IWC Pilot watches. They have so many. Like, why does there need to be hundreds of versions of Pilot watches? And it was just kind of their thing, right? It's like with Panerai, very fitting, right, for Richemont. But it was kind of like with Panerai, they kind of just found their thing and they pumped it out. A lot went out there and the prices came down and you find good values and good buys. That's where we are with IWC. But because of this, I do kind of think that we're going to see some decreased production and maybe some more limited editions where and collectors will be kind of gravitating to find something different. This may drive up the prices a bit, but for now, IWC watches are truly a phenomenal deal. And if you want to go in the back catalog, there are these IWC Aqua timers, for example, from the early 2000s and even getting into the 2010 era, where I've seen trading wholesale at unbelievably low prices, which I know should be translating out there in the market to equally attractive pricing for retail pre-owned watches, right? Think the IWC Aqua Timer. I think I saw one trade wholesale at like $1,200 US, and we may see these at the $2,200, $1,800 price point out there in the market. And I think for a sports watch, with the notoriety of a brand like IWC, the history, the heritage, and the quality, it's a no-brainer. That goes out to the Pilot watches and the Ingenieur, for example. So many other cool watches that they offer that I think they actually did a great job at, especially when you can get them at a fraction of the retail price. So guys, this has been 3 brands that I think are unbelievable buys right now in the watch market in the year 2022. I think Zinn is doing a phenomenal job. Their cases really should be at watches much higher in terms of pricing for the quality that they offer. They focus on it. They have a company that just pumps out these cases. JLC with the complications, as well as what they do with their calibers. They really focus on it. A lot of value to be said there, as well as IWC. I think IWC is undervalued. A lot of watches on the market, which means as watch collectors, we can take advantage, have a really great watch to love and enjoy and wear, because that's what we do as watch collectors, right? We wear them. We don't just tuck them away in the safe. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. Love to see it and hear it in the comments below. Guys, please do not forget to check out delraywatch.com, where we buy, sell, and trade watches. You can also find me on Instagram, The Real John P. Thanks, guys. You've been chatting with John P.